Gender-based violence has not stopped during the COVID-19 pandemic. Hundreds of women and children are still suffering silently because of this epidemic in South Africa. Joe Public United, along with people opposing women abuse, have launched the Silent Pandemic campaign in an effort to raise awareness on the scourge of gender-based violence. We get you more on that. We are joined by Mary Mamakgotla Makgaba from POWA. Very good afternoon to you, ma'am. Thank you very much for joining us. So let's start perhaps with the efforts that POWA has been endeavoring in to address this issue of GBV.
Thank you so much for having me. POWA is conducting ongoing care and support to the victims. Normally we call them survivors of gender-based violence. We are also conducting sheltering by making sure that they get a safe home, and we create a safe net for them as women to feel safe at home in our shelters. We are also doing empowerment of women, particularly in our shelters and our offices, where we run sessions, give them psychosocial support services in the form of counseling, individual counseling, also as well as group counseling. In terms of skills development, we give our women therapeutic skills in terms of soft skills so that they can learn bead making, blanket making, and so forth, because we are not well capacitated financially to give them other resources for economic reasons so that they can be independent post-shelter. We only give them soft skills. As POWA, we are also doing GBV training, which we're doing it online, having partnered with Joko. Joko has given us our financial muscles so that we can purchase data for community-based organizations in all across the 9 provinces so that we can train them on domestic violence. What is domestic violence? What causes domestic violence? How to escape? What are the consequences? And how to live abusive relationship. As an organization, as POWA, we have also done a march on the 27th of November to the NPA, Advocate Shamila Badoi, where we handed over our frustrations and concerns regarding the criminal justice system, which is failing our survivors, particularly for speedy finalization of cases to ensure that they increase conviction rates for GBV cases, as well as to make sure that they do court preparation, particularly, and court support for our survivors when they are at the courts. The other one was handed over to General Bekele to ensure that our frustrations with regard to the police when rendering services to our survivors are also attended to. Some of the issues included, amongst others, no arrest at all being made to the perpetrators, particularly after victims have opened cases, to make sure that they fast track and then make sure that they arrest the perpetrators. Some of the perpetrators pay bribes to the police officers, and at the end of the day, our survivors, they don't know court dates, what is happening, and they don't get follow-up and progress regarding the case. The other one was just for the South African police services to have victim-friendly facilities, victim-friendly rooms, which are well-equipped at the comfort of our survivors. That's one of our other challenges that we have handed the memorandum to the SAPS. Any other way, we are working throughout day and night to make sure that we end the scourge of domestic silence, #end domestic silence, in partnership with Joko.
You mentioned some of the challenges that you are facing, like a lack of capacity, especially financially. What is it that the public can do to help?
Thank you so much. Remember, 16 Days of Activism is an international campaign which is celebrated every year globally. It starts from the 25th of November to the 10th of December. That's why we call it 16 Days of Activism for No Violence Against Women and Children. It is very imperative, like if you can check, the World Health Organization have indicated that other countries, they raise funds for organizations, civil society organizations during the 16 days. I think our government should do same so that we can continue to have financial muscles to be able to help our survivors. If you look, if I can paint a picture, you look at correctional facilities, most of the prisoners, inmates, they've got access to education, which is free education, which is the opposite to our survivors in our shelter. So we want our survivors as well to get free education, because education is very key and education is very important, so that they don't have to go back to the perpetrators, so that they don't have to go back to abusive relationships. So we are saying that 16 days must be used to raise funds for all civil society organizations that are dealing with gender-based violence in South Africa.
Thank you very much, Mayor, for your time this afternoon. CEO of People Opposing Women Abuse, Mary Mamakgotla Makgaba.